Hello everybody and welcome back to more Minecraft Desync. That's the Secret Saturday edition. We last left off. We tried to solve an issue of lack of iron and getting lost. So, try to find... Lost, don't really care too much about. Iron, I do. Hut, hut, hut. All I care about is getting things. Well, I guess not really things, but I don't know where I was going with this statement. I'm completely honest. It fell apart. Where the hell does this go? Good lord. Goodbye, zombie. Keeps going. Oh no, it doesn't. That's a dead end, finally. Dead end? Oh, probably near the surface now. 52. Yeah. Pretty close to the surface. Oh, yeah, that's a lot of zombies. Hey, guys. Good try. But not good enough. You hurt, my good sir. That hurt a lot. Another one. Alright. That was a lot of zombies for no ores, it looks like. Guys weren't guarding anything worth a damn. Maybe this coal. I don't even call that guarding. Because I don't even need to enter for this. Oi, oi, oi. Alright, continuing on. There's a way down that's actually a way down. Maybe? It's not hard to say. Hard to tell. So, with with the war in Iran kind of being declared lost by me at least, the United States has certainly been busy moving as much equipment and hardware as it can, violating that same ceasefire that we literally just, not even signed, quote-unquote, but they literally just the verbal agreement immediately violated. Gone. Supposed to leave the Middle East. Instead, they're sending 50,000 troops, new hardware, regrouping, probably going to rearm, and they're probably going to invade some chunk of Iran. Quite frustrating. I want Iran to win. But I just don't see a way out. I don't see a way out. As for what I mean by way out, they're in a death spiral. Once you've achieved the death spiral, I explained this concept in the vanilla episode yesterday. But the concept is you can't take somebody head on, one-on-one, yada yada. But you can take it and do something that'll slowly but surely chip away at their strength. I used my Solaris run that I experienced as a salami tactic, because I've used it in both offensively and had it used against me. Concept is simple. You know, get into a war. I got into a war with AI because this was the first time I'd ever like poked at StarNet AI. Because I'm like, me and my buddy were getting a little bored of the AI. We were always constantly like top dog, so we wanted a challenge. He's like, we knew how to abuse the mechanics to our advantage. And and what basically had happened was I don't, at the time I didn't normally build out a lot of military power at the start because it's really never needed. You don't really need to spend an atrocious amount of money on getting your stuff protected because there's nothing to protect against, save piracy. And usually when I get a pirate, that's when I start making my ships to go deal with that before anything else. But I had made myself a pretty easy target to one of the StarNet AIs. And I had to quickly build an entire military force and then deploy it. Not an ideal place to be. But I was able to do it. But it left me weakened. But this time I was like, oh, well, I learned my lesson. I'll just rebuild my forces because I know they're going to probably hit me again. So, you know, you kind of prep that out. Anything in the other direction? No. Well, I did that. They attacked again. I had all my stuff exploded again. And this time I was putting an increasingly large amount of fraction into the military that I needed elsewhere because I'm like, I need to survive. I need to survive this. Then the third time he attacked, I lost the planet. That's a problem. I'm already being weakened. And now I've lost something that I critically needed. And you do that. The next time I lost more. And then I actually lost my capital, but I actually had something somewhat developed elsewhere. It's like, okay, I can rebuild from here. Turns out, no I couldn't. Because after that, they finally finished me off. About 5 to 6 wars. And I lost the game. I, as a functioning unit, had been bested by an AI that probably didn't understand what it was doing. It probably just made a calculation like, oh, he's weak, kill him. Oh, he's weak, kill him. But that's an example of salami tactics, and that's what has happened to Iran since at least 2022. I don't appreciate being down here. I really don't. Hello, creeper. Goodbye, creeper. Okay, what we got? Stack of iron. Definitely not enough, but it is a start. Good try. Where was I? Alright, because in 2022, Sam Soleimani was assassinated. He was a very important figure in the military. No, 2020, not 2022. Different war. Different escapade. But he was taken out. Very important figure. Huge loss, and they started raging to an extent. And, you know, did some attacks and went back to doing their own thing. Because, you know, it's just one guy. It's just one guy. And, well, 2022, Gaza. Slowly but surely, Hamas tries to force the war to expand because they figured out that there was a plan in the coming weeks to attack them, so they preempted that to an extent as best they could. Will not get over the images of paragliders causing an untold amount of havoc. Frankly, pretty hilarious in my personal opinion. But Iran also entered several times. And you know what happened? It didn't commit enough. It let its allies do a lot of the work, and we lost Sinwar, Inshallah, a few more that I'm probably forgetting, but a lot of the heavy you know, central figures got knocked off the list. Now, leaders can be replaced, but only so far. They got enough of them. Problem. And now 2026 has rolled around. Guess what? I just realized I said 2022 when I meant 2024 for the Hamas war. But point I'm going with on that one is now it's 2026 and yet another strike against the Ayatollah himself, and all of a sudden, you know, war's going pretty well for him. Then suddenly ceasefire after suspiciously about 50 military leaders got together in a bunker and then died. Gee, wonder who did that. The reformists who were operating, or not operating, but they were arrested before the war, at some point got out. I don't know, I didn't see when that happened, but now the reformists are in power. Which the reformists are traitors. These reformists never ever seem to have gotten targeted at all during any of the past 4 to 6 years. Never seem to ever get hit. I call that suspicious. Wouldn't you agree? So now, the ceasefire is in here. The salami slicing has basically been completed. Almost all the figures who could stop traitors are either dead or too few in number to actually do anything. Which sucks for Iran. Sucks for me too, because I was really rooting for him. Burn this place to the ground, please. But unfortunately, it looks like we are not going to get that savior. I'm not sure what the next play is for Iran, but the U.S. is building its forces back up in the Middle East. Which tells me that the next step is ground invasion of Iran to finally, officially tear that bitch apart. They didn't close their OTA loops. They either didn't or couldn't figure out who the traitors were in time. So, the price is going to be paid in more blood. You don't negotiate with traitors. You sure as hell don't go to war when you have them in your midst. It's just sad, man. It's just sad. Like if you have, it's like if you have traitors, you really shouldn't be going to war because they will sell you out at a moment's notice if it benefits them. If it doesn't benefit them, then they won't do anything. I hear them. There you are. Well, that's not what I wanted to do per se. I thought there would be a skeleton spawner down here with how many I heard. Rattling their bones. Huh. Oh well. Thought there would have been more down there, because they were making a lot of racket really quickly. Alright, well, let's try and find our way back. So we're about, I guess, 800 blocks away? Give or take? Might have to branch mine just because not many more caves that I can immediately spot out here. Well, in the meantime, I hope you all enjoyed listening to me ramble about death spirals, and we will see you all in the next episode of Minecraft Desync. Vanilla, no, not vanilla, not Secret Side Edition. Bye-bye!